A needle slipped into his vein. His eyes snapped open, and they found her. Not the ceiling, not the fluorescent lights, not the blood-soaked gurney or the chaos of the ER around them. Her. She froze. His gaze locked onto hers with an intensity that made her breath catch. Dark, unblinking, like he was memorizing every detail of her face. Amara, vitals. Dr. Chun barked from across the room. She blinked, shook it off, and focused. BP's stabilizing, she called back, her hands trembling as she adjusted the forge drip. The man on the table didn't look away. His lips parted slightly, and for a moment, it seemed he might speak, but he didn't. He just watched. If you're already hooked, hit that subscribe button. This story gets darker. Trust me. Amara Hayes had been a night shift nurse at St. Catherine's ER for 3 years. She had seen everything. Gunshot wounds, overdoses, domestic violence cases that made her stomach turn. But she had never seen a patient like him. Min-jae Kim. That was the name on his ID when the hospital finally processed him. 28 years old. No emergency contacts. No medical history. Just a name and a face that looked as if someone had sculpted it, knowing beauty could be a weapon. The stab wound in his side was deep, but not fatal. Someone had known exactly where to cut without killing. Gang violence. Officer Martinez muttered as he took photos of the scene. These Korean Mafia cases are getting worse. Amara didn't respond. She was too busy trying to ignore the way Min-jae's eyes followed her as she moved around the trauma bay. It wasn't normal. Patients in shock didn't track movement like that. They didn't stare with that kind of focused intensity. It was like he was studying her. Girl. She turned. Her best friend Nia stood in the doorway, arms crossed, one eyebrow raised. What? Amara asked. Don't want me, Nia said, stepping closer and lowering her voice. That man has not taken his eyes off you since we wheeled him in. He's disoriented. He's obsessed, Nia cut in. She glanced over at Min-jae, now being stitched up by Dr. Chun. And honestly, if he wakes up fully and asks for your number, I'm quitting this job. That level of fine should be illegal. Amara rolled her eyes. Nia, I'm serious. Look at him. She did, and she hated that Nia was right. Min-jae was beautiful in a way that felt dangerous. Sharp jawline, high cheekbones, black hair falling slightly into his eyes. Even covered in blood and bruises, he looked like he had stepped out of some dark, twisted romance novel. He's a patient, Amara reminded her. He's a problem, Nia corrected, and you're about to fall right into it. An hour later, Min-jae was moved to recovery. Amara was assigned to his post-op care. Of course she was. When she walked into his room, he was awake, sitting up slightly. His dark eyes tracked her the moment she stepped through the door. Good evening, Mr. Kim, she said, keeping her voice professional. I'm Nurse Hayes. I'll be checking on you tonight. He didn't respond, just stared. Clearing her throat, she moved to his bedside and pulled up his chart on the tablet. Your vitals look stable. How's your pain level? 1 to 10. Silence. She glanced up. He was still watching. Mr. Kim, Amara. Her heart skipped. It was the first time he had spoken, and his voice was low, smooth, almost gentle. How do you know my name? She asked, though her badge was right there on her scrubs. It suits you, he said softly. She didn't know what to say, so she didn't. She finished checking his monitors and turned to leave. Wait. She stopped. Will you be here tomorrow? He asked. She glanced back. There was something in his expression now, something softer than the intensity from before. I work nights, she told him. So yes. He nodded slowly. Good. She left the room before she could overthink it. But as she stepped into the hallway, she felt it, the prickling sensation at the back of her neck, like she was being watched. She turned around. The hallway was empty, but through the window of Min-jae's room, she could see him, still staring. Later that night, Nia cornered her in the break room. Okay, spill, she said, plopping down next to Amara with a bag of chips. What happened in there? Nothing, Amara lied. Liar. You've been weird since you came out of his room. Amara hesitated, then sighed. He knew my name. Nia blinked. Girl, it's on your badge. I know, but she paused. It wasn't what he said. It was how he said it. How did he say it? Like he'd been thinking about it for a long time. Nia stared at her, then grinned. Oh, you're cooked. I'm not. You are. You are so cooked, Nia said, leaning back and munching on a chip. Just don't let him break your heart. Or stab you. Whichever comes first. Amara laughed, despite herself. But later, when she walked to her car in the parking garage, she couldn't shake the feeling. That sensation of being watched. She glanced around. The garage was nearly empty, just a few scattered cars under the flickering fluorescent lights. No one was there. As she unlocked her car, she saw it. A black SUV, parked 3 spaces down. Engine off. Windows tinted so dark she couldn't see inside. She stared at it for a long moment, then got in and drove away. In her rearview mirror, she saw the SUV's headlights flick on, and it followed her. She didn't tell Nia about the car. She didn't tell anyone. By the time she got home, it was gone. Maybe she had imagined it. Maybe she was just exhausted. That's what she told herself as she unlocked her apartment door and stepped inside. Everything looked normal. Her keys went on the hook, her bag dropped onto the couch, and she kicked off her shoes, heading to the bathroom to shower. But when she opened the bathroom door, she froze. The mirror was fogged, like someone had just taken a shower. She hadn't been home in 12 hours. Her pulse spiked. She glanced around the small bathroom. Nothing else seemed out of place. Maybe the landlord had come by. Maybe there was a leak. She forced herself to breathe and turn on the shower. But when the water heated up, she noticed something else. Her perfume bottle. It was on the opposite side of the counter. She always kept it on the left. Now it was on the right. She stood there staring at it, her heart hammering. Someone had been in here. She grabbed her phone and called Nia. What's wrong? Nia picked up on the second ring. I think someone's been in my apartment. What? She swallowed hard. The bathroom mirror was fogged, and my perfume moved. There was a pause, then Nia sighed. Babe, you're working nights. Your brain is fried. You probably just forgot. I didn't forget. Amara, listen to me. You're stressed. You're exhausted. And you just met a hot, dangerous Mafia patient who's clearly into you. Your imagination is working overtime. Amara wanted to argue, but maybe Nia was right. Maybe she was just tired. Okay, she said quietly. Yeah, you're probably right. Get some sleep, Nia said gently. I'll see you tonight. Amara hung up and tried to believe her. But when she walked in her bedroom, she saw it. Her closet door. It was open. She always closed it before she left. Always. She stared at it for a long moment, then closed it, locked her bedroom door, and tried to sleep. But she couldn't shake the feeling. Someone was watching her. Amara didn't sleep. How could she? Every creak of the floorboards sounded like footsteps. Every shadow on the wall looked like a figure lurking in the corner. By the time her alarm went off at 6 p.m., exhaustion clung to her like a second skin. Still, she dragged herself out of bed, showered, and forced herself through the motions of getting ready for her night shift. When she arrived at the hospital, Nia took one look at her and frowned. You look terrible. Thanks, Amara muttered. I'm serious. Did you sleep at all? Not really. Nia studied her for a beat, then sighed. You're still freaked out about your apartment, aren't you? Amara didn't answer. Amara. I'm fine, she cut in. Let's just get through the shift. But she wasn't fine, and the feeling only intensified when she checked the assignment board. Min Jae Kim, room 304. She was his nurse again. When she walked into his room, he was sitting up in bed, looking far better than the day before. Fresh bandages, healthy color, and when he saw her, his face lit up. Actually lit up, like she was the best thing he'd seen all day. Amara, he said softly. There was again that gentle, warm voice. Mr. Kim, she replied, keeping her tone clipped and professional. How are you feeling today? Better, he said. Now that you're here. She ignored the flutter in her chest and moved to check his vitals. Your stats look good. Dr. Chin will probably discharge you in the next day or two. That's disappointing, he murmured. She glanced up. Why? Because I won't see you anymore. Heat crept in her cheeks, but she forced her attention on the monitor. You'll be glad to get out of here. Not if it means losing you. She froze. He was flirting, openly, boldly, and unfortunately, it was working. Mr. Kim. Min Jae, he corrected gently. Please, call me Min Jae. She hesitated, then nodded. Min Jae. His smile was soft and devastating, like she'd just given him something precious. Can I ask you something? He said. Sure. Why nursing? The question caught her off guard. No one had asked her that in a long time. Certainly not like he did. Like her answer mattered. I wanted to help people, she said slowly. My mom was sick when I was younger. The nurses who took care of her, they made a difference. I wanted to be like them. Min Jae's expression softened further. Your mother, is she? She's okay now. Amara replied quickly. In remission. I'm glad. There was sincerity in his voice. Unexpected and disarming. He sat there asking about her life, as if it genuinely mattered to him. As if she mattered. Thank you, she whispered. He held her gaze for a moment, then reached out, slowly, carefully, and took her hand. His touch was warm, gentle. "You're a good person, Amara," he said softly. "I can see it." Her heart pounded. She knew she should pull away. She knew she should leave. But she didn't. For a moment longer, she let him hold her hand. Then she stepped back. "I need to check on my other patients." He nodded. "Will you come back?" "I'll check on you later," she promised, and meant it. "You're falling for him." Nia's voice sliced through her thoughts as they stood at the nurse's station. Amara looked up from her chart. "What? Don't play dumb. The hot Mafia guy. You're falling for him." "I'm not." "You are." Nia crossed her arms. "I saw you coming out of his room. You were glowing." "I was not." "You were practically radiating." Nia shook her head. "Look, I get it. He's fine. He's got that whole dark, mysterious, dangerous thing going on. But Amara." "What?" "He's dangerous. Actually dangerous. The cops said he's connected to the Korean Mafia. Do you understand what that means?" Amara did, but somehow she didn't care. "I know what I'm doing," she insisted. Nia gave her a long, doubtful look. "Okay, but when this blows up, and it will, I'm going to say I told you so." Amara laughed despite herself, but unease simmered beneath the surface. Later that night, things shifted. When she returned to Min Jae's room around 10 p.m., the moment she stepped inside, she felt it. A difference in the air. Min Jae stood by the window, staring out at the city lights. His posture was sharper, stronger. "Min Jae," she said cautiously. He turned. Amara's breath caught. His eyes were different, harder, colder. The warmth from earlier was gone. "Amara," he said. Even his voice was different, deeper, rougher. "Are you okay?" she asked, stepping closer. He didn't answer. Instead, he moved toward her fast. Too fast. Suddenly he was right in front of her, his hand lifting to cup her jaw. "You smell good," he murmured. Her heart slammed against her ribs. "What?" "Like vanilla. And something sweeter." His thumb brushed her lower lip. Possessive, dominant. Nothing like his earlier gentleness. "Min Jae." "Say my name again," he commanded softly. She swallowed. "Min Jae." His eyes darkened. He leaned in, so close she could feel his breath against her skin. "You have no idea what you do to me," he whispered. Fear and something darker tangled inside her. "I need to go," she breathed. He studied her, then stepped back. "Of course. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have." "It's fine," she cut in quickly. "You're still healing. Get some rest." She left before he could say more, hands trembling. His touch still burned on her skin. Back at the nurse's station, Nia stared at her like she'd lost her mind. "He was different tonight," Amara said quietly. "Different how?" Nia asked. "I don't know. Harder. More intense." "Intense how?" Amara hesitated. "He touched me." Nia's eyes widened. "He what?" "Not like that, just my face." "But it was different." "Amara, that's called mood swings," Nia said. "Men have them. Especially stabbed, painkiller-filled ones." "It didn't feel like mood swings," Amara insisted. "It felt like..." "Like what?" "Like he was a completely different person." Nia squeezed her hand. "You're overthinking this." But Amara wasn't sure. When she got home that night, everything seemed normal. No fog mirrors. No moved perfume bottles. Relief washed over her. Maybe she really had imagined it all. She locked the door, dropped her bag, and headed to the bedroom. Then froze. Her bed covers were pulled back, like someone had been lying in it. She stared, pulse racing. Then she saw the indent on the pillow. A head-shaped indentation. Her stomach dropped. She grabbed her phone and called Nia. "Someone's been in my apartment again," she whispered. "What?" Nia gasped. "Are you sure?" "My bed. Someone was lying in it." Nia turned serious instantly. "Pack a bag. You're staying with me. No arguments. I'm coming to get you." Amara packed fast, heart hammering. But as she stuffed clothes into a duffel bag, she froze. That feeling, that crawling sensation along her spine. She turned slowly toward the window. A shadow stood there, tall, broad-shouldered, watching her. She screamed. The shadow vanished. Moments later, her phone buzzed again. "Amara, I'm 5 minutes away. Stay on the phone." But Amara couldn't speak, because she just realized something. She lived on the 3rd floor. There was no balcony, no fire escape, no way anyone should be standing outside her window. Amara didn't return to her apartment for 3 days. Nia let her stay, offering comfort and distraction, but the fear wouldn't leave her. The shadow outside her window, the indent on her pillow. Someone was stalking her. Someone careful. Someone deliberate. Someone who knew exactly what they were doing. You need to file a police report, Nia said on the third morning as she handed Amara a cup of coffee. And tell them what? That I saw a shadow. That someone is breaking into your apartment. I have no proof, Amara argued. No forced entry. No stolen items. Nothing. Then install cameras. I will, she promised, though a part of her already knew it wouldn't help. Whoever this was, they were too good. When she returned to work that night, she dreaded seeing Min-jae again. But when she checked the assignment board, his name wasn't there. He'd been discharged. Relief washed over her, followed immediately by an unexpected pang of disappointment. She shouldn't feel that way. She should be glad he was gone. She should be able to move on. But she didn't. Instead, she felt hollow. He left you something, Nia said, holding out a small envelope. Inside was a handwritten note on expensive cardstock. Amara, thank you for taking care of me. I know I wasn't the easiest patient, but you made me feel safe. Like I mattered. I'd like to see you again. Not as your patient. Just as me. If you're willing, meet me at Lumen Cafe tomorrow at 7 p.m. Min-jae. Her heart raced. Well, Nia pressed. Are you going? Amara knew she should say no. She knew she should tear up the note. She knew she should forget about him. But she didn't. Yeah, she whispered. I'm going. The next evening, she arrived at Lumen Cafe right at 7 p.m. The warm lighting and soft music created a gentle, intimate glow around the room. At the corner table sat Min-jae, wearing a dark sweater and jeans, looking almost painfully handsome. When he saw her, he stood immediately. Amara. Hi. He pulled out her chair before sitting opposite her. You look beautiful. Thank you. For a moment, they simply stared at each other before he spoke again. I wasn't sure you'd come. I almost didn't. What changed your mind? Curiosity, she admitted. About this. He smiled softly. I'd like it to be something real. Her breath hitched. I know this is fast, he continued. And I know my circumstances aren't ideal. But I've never felt this way about anyone before. Just give me a chance. She hesitated before finally nodding. Okay, one chance. His smile lit up the entire room. They spent 2 hours talking. About Seoul, about her college years, about art and podcasts and everything in between. He was funny, thoughtful, unexpectedly warm. And when he walked her to her car afterward, he gently took her hand. Can I see you again? He asked. Yes. He kissed her softly, gently, perfectly. For the first time in days, she felt safe. The following weeks were blissful. Min-jae texted her every morning, took her out every weekend, and occasionally surprised her at work with coffee. He was everything she had always wanted someone to be. But slowly, things began to shift. Sometimes his kisses were soft. Sometimes rough, desperate, almost hungry. You okay? She asked one night. He blinked out of some distant trance. Yeah, sorry. It's okay, she assured him. And it was. She liked both sides of him, the gentle and the rough. But the inconsistencies didn't stop. He would hold her hand with his left hand one day, and his right the next. He'd remember small details sometimes, and forget big ones at other times. Are you feeling okay? She asked during a walk in the park. Fine, he replied. Why? You seem off. Distracted. He stopped and looked at her. Something in his voice changed, deeper, colder. I'm here, Amara. I'm always here. Then he pulled her close. Do you trust me? Do you trust me? Yes. He kissed her hard, and when he pulled away, the coldness vanished. Good, he murmured. Because I'm never letting you go. During lunch at the hospital cafeteria, Nia watched her with concern. Something's wrong with him, she said. What do you mean? Your boyfriend. Something's off. Amara tried to brush it off, but Nia continued. Yesterday, outside the hospital, his cologne was different. The first time I met him, he smelled like sandalwood. Yesterday, he smelled like cedar, and his watch was on the opposite wrist. And when I said hi, he looked at me like he'd never seen me in his life. Amara froze. I'll talk to him, she finally said. That night, she went to his sleek, modern apartment. I need to ask you something, she said, pacing. Okay. And I need you to be honest. Always. She swallowed. Are you seeing someone else? No, he exclaimed. Why would you think that? Because you're different. You change. Your scent, your habits, your memory. Sometimes, she hesitated. Sometimes it feels like you're two different people. Silence filled the room. Then he laughed softly, sadly. You're more perceptive than I thought. Her blood ran cold. About what? I'm not seeing anyone else, he said gently. But you're right that something's different. He stepped closer, touched her face, then kissed her deeply, so deeply that the questions dissolved, slipping from her mind like water. She left later that night, her thoughts hazy, and returned to her apartment. She kept telling herself she was safe now. She had cameras, sensors, new locks. But when she walked into her bedroom, she froze. A rose lay on her pillow. Fresh. Red. Her heart stumbled into silence. She called Nia. Someone's been in my apartment again. Check the cameras. She did. Nothing. No footage. No intruders. No shadows. Only herself, entering and leaving that morning. That's impossible, she whispered. Get out of there, Nia said urgently. Right now. But a sound stopped her. Running water. From the bathroom. Nia, get out. But she couldn't move. The bathroom door opened. Standing there, dripping wet, shirtless, water sliding down his chest, was Min Jae. Except, not Min Jae. His eyes were darker, hungrier, wrong. Hello, Amara, he said softly. And then he smiled. Amara couldn't breathe, couldn't think, couldn't move. The man standing in her bathroom doorway looked exactly like Min Jae. Same face, same build, same dark eyes. But it wasn't him. She knew it. Who are you? She whispered. He tilted his head, water still dripping from his hair. You know who I am. No, I don't. Yes, you do. He stepped forward. You felt me. Every night. Every time you thought you were alone. Her stomach dropped. It was you, she breathed. The shadow. The moved perfume. The bed. He smiled. I've been watching you for weeks, Amara. Waiting. Waiting for what? For my brother to bring you close enough. Brother. The word hit her like a freight train. You're Minjun, he said. Min Jae's twin. She stumbled backward, her phone clutched in shaking hands. Amara. What's happening? Nia's voice screamed through the speaker. She couldn't answer. Minjun was moving closer, slow, deliberate, like a predator stalking prey. Stay away from me, she warned, holding the phone like a weapon. He didn't. You don't need to be afraid, he said softly. I would never hurt you. You broke into my apartment. I want to be close to you. That's not normal. Nothing about this is normal, he agreed. But you already knew that, didn't you? You felt it. The difference. When Min Jae came to you at night, rougher, hungrier, that wasn't him. Her breath caught. That was me. Oh God, you've been pretending to be him, she whispered. Only sometimes, Min Jun said. When he couldn't see you. When he was working. When you needed someone stronger. I never needed you. His expression darkened. Didn't you? Think about it. Min Jun continued, his voice low and hypnotic. Every time Min Jae held back. Every time he was too gentle, too careful. Who was there? She didn't want to hear it. Didn't want to believe it. But the memories flooded back. The rough kisses, the possessive touches, the deepening of his voice, the tightening of his grip. No, she whispered. Yes, Min Jun said. You liked it, Amara. You liked both of us. Stop. You felt the difference but didn't pull away. You wanted it. Tears blurred her vision. You had no right. I had every right. His voice rose, raw with emotion. From the moment Min Jae woke up in that ER and saw you, from the moment he came home and told me about you, I knew. Knew what? That you were ours. The possessiveness in his voice made her skin crawl. And yet, a part of her didn't hate it. This is insane, she breathed. Is it? Min Jun stepped closer. Or is it the most honest thing anyone's ever told you? She backed away until she hit the wall. He caged her in, one hand on either side of her head. Nia, she screamed into the phone. Call the police. I'm already calling them. Nia yelled back. Just hold on. But Min Jun didn't seem concerned. He leaned in, breath hot against her ear. You can run, he whispered. You can call the police. You can try to forget us. I will. But you won't. His lips brushed her neck. Because you already know the truth. What truth? That you don't want just Min Jae. You want both of us. She shoved him hard. He stumbled back, surprised. She ran. Out of her bedroom. Through the living room. Toward the front door. Let me go. She screamed, thrashing. Amara, stop. A different voice, softer, and she twisted around. Min Jae. The real Min Jae. Standing in the doorway. Holding her. What are you doing here? She gasped. I came to explain, he said desperately. I was going to tell you tonight. I swear. Tell me what? That you've been lying to me this whole time. I never lied. You let your brother pretend to be you. Min Jae flinched. I didn't know at first. I swear. He was supposed to stay away. But he what? He's obsessed with you. Just like I am. Behind her, Min Jun chuckled low. Finally, he said. Honesty. She spun around. And there they were. Side by side. Two identical men. Same dark, intense eyes. Both wanting her. Her knees buckled. Amara. Min Jae reached for her. But she jerked away. Don't touch me. Please, just listen. No. Tears streamed down her face. You're both insane. You've been stalking me, lying to me, manipulating me. We love you. Min Jun said simply. She laughed bitterly. That's not love. That's possession. What's the difference? Min Jun countered. Min Jae shot him a dark look. Shut up. Why? She deserves the truth. She deserves a choice. And I'm giving her one. Min Jun said, turning to her. Choose us. Both of us. Her heart pounded. What? You don't have to pick between us, he continued. You can have both. That's insane. Is it? Min Jun stepped closer. You already told Nia you liked both sides. The gentle one. And the rough one. That was before I knew you were two different people. Does it matter? Min Jun asked. Does it really matter that we're two bodies instead of one? Yes. Even as she said it, doubt crept in. He was right. She liked both sides. She liked Min Jae's sweetness. She liked Min Jun's intensity. And the thought of having both. No, this was wrong. I need to leave, she said, voice shaking. But Min Jae blocked her path. Amara, please. Move. Just hear us out. Move. He didn't. And then she realized the truth. She wasn't leaving this apartment. Not tonight. Her phone lay on the floor where she dropped it. She could hear Nia's frantic voice through the speaker. Amara, the police are on their way. Just hold on. But she didn't know if they would get there in time. Min Jae and Min Jun exchanged a look, some silent communication passing between them. Min Jae turned to her, pained. We're not going to hurt you. Then let me go. We can't. Why not? Because, Min Jun said, stepping forward. If we let you go, you'll run. You'll disappear. We'll never see you again. Good. Not good. Min Jae said softly. Not for us. And not for you. You don't know what's good for me. We know you feel it too. Min Jun interrupted. This pull. This connection. You could deny it all you want, but it's there. She wanted to argue, but the words died in her throat. He was right. She did feel it. This inexplicable, terrifying, overwhelming pull toward both of them. This isn't how relationships work, she whispered. Maybe not normal ones, Min Jae said, but we've never been normal. And neither is what we feel for you, Min Jun added. They moved closer, both of them, surrounding her. You belong with us, Min Jae said softly, reaching for her hand. You belong to us, Min Jun corrected, his fingers brushing her cheek. And she couldn't breathe, couldn't think. The room spun, vision blurred. Amara. Min Jae's voice sounded far away. She's hyperventilating, Min Jun muttered.